Welcome back to JK McLeod. Today I'm working on a starter for a McCulloch 33B, but this probably goes for the 33, the 35, the 39. You'll pretty much use the same setup. Replacing the busted spring on there, the rewind spring. Now for, if you have a spring replacement, generally what you do is you leave that little band on there. Keep it nice and tight. Get it into the slot that it has to be. The little end here goes into the notch. You force it down. Keep your hand on top of it. Snap the band that holds it all in place, and then slowly let it unwind inside the space. Well, this has nothing to do with that. This one here, hopefully it's a better method that someone's come up with. I haven't seen it yet. But to get the spring on here, you have to unwind it. Unwind the spring. It comes with a little metal band on it. But hold in your hand, unwind the snap the little tab off that releases the spring tension, and then slowly bring out the spring. Bring it out and try to get the most innermost part to slide over the outside of this little spool. And in the center of the spool is a small notch that this little hook goes into. This is the old spring. I've tried doing this once or twice, but the spring keeps breaking, so I replaced it with a new spring. So then you have to wind it by hand, getting it ever tighter, holding onto it. But what they do is once you put the spring tension in, there's a hole that goes through the spool and through this outer piece. I'm not sure what it's called, but it holds it all in place. That little spring. So what you do, and then when it sits in there, the spring holds it in that position, held in with the spring. And then once you take it off, you can take a pair of pliers or a screwdriver in here, lift it up, and place it in this notch right here. So it'll sit, I don't know, roughly. Let's see, on this side here. It'll feel like that. That's the little place that it's supposed to get all caught up in. So yeah, it's got three holes here. Bring this around. Align it with. Let me get this out of the way. There's 3 holes here. 1, 2, and 3. Line that up. There's a small channel that this outside piece fits into. Both top and bottom. Slide it in. Line the holes up. And yes, proper one. Wrong way. There we go. Okay, 1, 2, see if I can get my freakishly large cranium out of the way. Just throw 2 in it for now. That's it. Now it's seated in here. And what you do is once you get the other half, pull this through that slot. still have to do the trigger and all that kind of fun stuff, but essentially, let's see if I can align this properly. Back this off a little bit. See if I can align this, give you an idea of what it needs to be. And this over here, roughly, there we go. Getting close, getting close. Yeah, it's a three-handed operation. Let me get my noggin out of the way. And essentially, once you've got it together, you hold the rope, you pull out that little pin that's holding it together, it'll retract and pull the cord back, and you got to give yourself a little extra because you've got to overwind the spring a little bit. So let me get this out of here. Oh, almost forgot the most important step here. This little top of the spring, once you pull it out, lay it across here, make sure that it doesn't fly around or else you'll have spaghetti. But yeah, I mean, essentially you just lift it up like that. Just let it over to here, let it rewind, and you're good. And I think I'll probably put it on there, let some tension come out, put the little pin back in, and then once I assemble it, then I'll pull it out. And I'm sure there's a methodology to it, but it's the first time I'm doing this little spring. And kind of learn as you go, look at the IPL. But yeah, as I can tell, that should work. Let me get the two halves together, get the trigger in, clean it up, and get the trigger in, and that kind of fun stuff. And the shut off. There we go. Yeah. But you know when it's all together. Okay. We got the spring. Just kind of presses in there. The shut off lever, trigger, and of course the starter and spring. What to do is got the two halves together, making sure that everything lines up on both halves, sandwich it together, and we got it. Let me do that because I know it's going to be like a three-handed operation, take a little time. Get it together, and then we'll place it back on the saw. Okay, cover together, ready to assemble. Just going to turn this up on off. That touches the coil, this little area right there. That works, trigger works. Same together. And there's two short ones, two short bolts, 1 and 2, and one long one that goes through from one side to the other. There's a small nut located behind the carburetor. And that's what this long bolt goes into. Okay, guide beam, where's my pliers? There we go. Just hold on to the throttle rod. Got the rest of it on. Camera's not going anywhere. And there we go. Sure it up against the poles. One, two, and one long one on the side here. Let me get the right spot. It'll just sink right in. There we go. Let's sink down, and you know you got it. Let's see, where's the... Nope, there we go. In there, bolts are working. Final by hand. There we go. Yeah, we're good now. The hard part's getting this trigger on. Yeah, pretty well. I should put things in the right position. Yeah. Yeah, dig that. First shot. Almost getting good at this. Squeeze that spring so it doesn't pop off. I don't know about this trigger. Yeah, we'll see. See what we can do with it. That little tab keeps popping out. It should just stay right in. It should prevent the trigger from coming out. Yeah, we'll see. I have to work on this little clip here. It's not quite sitting in there right. But essentially, that's it. She's together. Now we can see if there's something actually viable. She fires on prime, but got to see about the carb and the fuel pump and stuff like that. See what that's working with. A little too late for that now. Pick this up tomorrow.